Hey all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a brand new game that just released. It's called Kaiserpunk. It's been on my wish list for a while, so as it just released I wanted to cover it straight away. It's a survival city builder with some grand strategy stuff thrown in as well. It's made by a company called Overseer Games. It looks like they spent the last 3 years developing this, and now it's been fully released. It does show a bit. There's a few crashes I've had, and the performance isn't the best in some parts. They've also made a couple of other similar games, one set in the past, medieval survival city builder, and then one that's set underwater. Looks a bit weird, but might be worth checking out as well. While looking through the options here, I just wanted to say that there is a tutorial. I did run through it quickly just to get an idea of the game. I didn't really want to make a video of the tutorial because it is literally following step-by-step guide on how to do specific things. So we'll just jump straight into the main game instead. You get to choose, I guess, part of a country. This is based in a world that's been ravaged by war. All the major cities have kind of been destroyed. There's just nothing left. So all the countries are kind of split up, and you get to start your own little country from scratch. But yeah, you basically select the country region, and then there's certain options of where you want to start your new city. I think I'm probably going to start in the UK. There's quite a few different options in Europe, but yeah, I'm just going to stick with Liverpool here. I think it looks like an interesting map. Obviously, you set your name and you set your city name, and I have no idea why I called it Toast City, but it is Toast City. Here you select what they call a heritage. What they are basically bonuses and negatives for your nation. So whichever one you select, you'll be good at certain things and you'll have a negative in something as well. They also have different graphical options for each of them. So it's based between Russians, Allies and Germans. I don't think the type of equipment you see here has any effect on the game itself. It's just graphical. It's more to do with the bonus and negative that you get with your choice. I'm going to go with Imperial Dominion here. Just seems right for the UK. And then here you get to choose a flag for your nation. Some decent options, but I just make a basic Union flag with some differences. But yeah, if you want to really dig into it, I think you can make some nice custom flags for your nation. But yeah, I just keep it basic here. And then you get the difficulty settings. I'll leave it all to normal, but you can set your win conditions and a number of different types of difficulty for the AI and so on. So yeah, let's just jump into the game. And here we just get like a description of what the world's like, basically, and what's happened to the world. And to give you an idea of where you're starting from. And then also chucks a few negative effects on your country. And this is the whole world, I believe, gets these negative effects. So this is the main town centre, or HQ, or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of the main view of the game where you do all the city building. And then scattered around the map, there'll be certain things that you can salvage once you've got enough population to do so. These will give you a boost in resources depending on what it is you're actually salvaging. And then you'll have the resources and stuff that are scattered around the map. Obviously, you can mine these, and then they're used for production lines, making different things in the game that your citizens will require. If you ever played Anno, it's very similar, where each of your citizens will have different requirements. We'll have a look at the interface quickly here. Obviously, it's your city name in the top left, and then you've got money, different types of citizens here. They're different levels. They basically start off at labourers. They can do basic tasks, and then so on and so on, until you get to the end ones that the guys that can work in the most advanced manufacturing and so on. Yeah, the next part is the morale. This is probably the main part of the game. You've really got to keep your citizens happy all the time, and they're always demanding different things that you've got to keep on top of. If this drops down, they can riot and smash buildings up and catch them on fire. Here you've got your resources. It only shows the main resources that you need for building, and the other resources are hidden within a resource menu within the options screen. Let's take a look at the world map. This part of the game is what sets it apart from your average survival city builder. It's very similar to a grand strategy game, like say Hearts of Iron or something like that, but not quite as in depth, and in a way that's kind of its downfall as well. But we'll take a look anyway. So each region you own, you get 2 upgrades. These are bonuses to the region, basically. Propaganda building is good for when you take land from other people. You basically use it to persuade them that, you know, although you conquered them, you're better than their last leader. And the rest give different bonuses in different places. And then you have the garrison. Again, you can have 2 different garrisons. You get more unlocked as you get on in the game. What the garrisons are used for is to help defend the land if you don't have any army there. You can have basically ones that defend against land attacks and ones against air attacks. We'll just take a quick look at the research window here. It works a bit different than other games. You don't select something to research. It kind of researches automatically as you build the specific building types. So this one's living. Obviously, this is houses and stuff like that for your citizens. So the more houses you build, the more research you get in the living. Utilities is power and infrastructure. So yeah, the more you kind of build into that, the more that will unlock. And that's how the research works in the game. So the more you expand, the more you get to unlock. And now we'll just take a look at the building in the game. It's actually quite a nice system. You obviously start off, you need to build some houses, you need to build roads and so on. So we'll quickly do that here anyway. But you can quickly rotate buildings easy enough. And then, you know, you just got to make sure that everything is connected by roads. Everything needs a road connection in this game. And the road building is quite an easy tool to use as well. You kind of just drag it where you want it to go. One of the easier ones I've used, tell you the truth. And then you get this copy tool where you can actually just click there and just copy the building that you want to copy instead of having to go into the menu system. Makes it quite easy, and you can actually drag and drop over a load of buildings and copy them all, and then you just paste them wherever you want them to be. So I could say copy those 4 and just paste them next to it. I did forget to point out on the right hand side you've got basically the enemy AI. They're all grayed out at the moment because we haven't met them yet. We haven't unlocked parts of the world. So yeah, what we'll do now is basically start a basic production line going. We'll start with the cultivation side of things. We'll build a forester. And then basically the forester produces wood, and then we need to make buildings that do stuff with the wood. Wood's one of the main resources in the game, so it's important that we get this production line up and running. We build a couple of lumber mills here. These are used to create plywood and wooden planks, I believe. Now, they're the main kind of resource used in the game for building buildings, the plywood is, and then the planks are used for producing items later in the game. And again, we'll just build roads around everything just to make sure they're connected. And then we need to build basically the depot. And this is used to transport your goods around. So any kind of thing that produces an item, you need this depot to be able to move the stuff around. And you'll see little cars go in and out, picking stuff out and moving them around. So then we'll take a look at what the guys actually require. So you see these guys need bread and fruit. And this is your main town centre as well that you can upgrade. And this, when you upgrade, you choose kind of a political alignment. Depending on what you choose, you get different bonuses and negatives. And we'll build a vegetable farm as well. And that'll kind of then complete the first kind of bit where your guys now have some food, and vegetables was one of the main foods that they needed. Here we get to see the first kind of, I guess you could call it a quest, but basically these guys ask you kind of how you want to take your city, what you want to concentrate on. You can concentrate on kind of farming and producing food, industry and making a big industrial power, or go down the military road and create a mighty military empire. Yeah, for this one, I'm just going to go with the food production, I think, just to make it a bit easier. But I think the military one would be an interesting one to do as well. And as you can see, it gives you a little mission to do up in the top right, which is just to produce 20 vegetables. And you'll get different things like that throughout the game. And it's worth doing it because it gives you, extra bonuses and stuff like that. Then here I'll show you how you can swap industries to produce different things. So lumber mills as default produce plywood, but you can also set them to produce lumber. And lumber is used for producing different items in the game, whereas the plywood is for building. And most production buildings will have alternatives, so that's why you've got to double up on them sometimes to be able to produce everything that you need to produce. I skip towards the end of my kind of playtime here just to show you what happens with rioting. They'll start setting buildings on fire and smashing things up, and then you've got to try and repair them afterwards, which takes up resources. So it's important to keep your citizens happy, I think. So what I've done here now, I've just jumped into the combat tutorial, basically, just to so you can see what the combat's like, because it takes a long time to get to the combat actually in the game, so I just wanted to show everyone what it's like. And obviously this is a built-up city that these guys have done as part of the tutorial. You get your air bases here where you produce planes. And then you also get your shipyards, obviously where you do all the boats and stuff like that. You only got one type of boat to start with, but you get a few more later on. And then you got your basically military bases as well, where you train your soldiers and tanks and different types of artillery. And each of these different units you can train up, planes, boats and so on, all require different resources, and you have to set up the proper production lines to be able to supply them with what they need. Otherwise you can't produce the units. So part of the tutorial you get to put your kind of army onto this boat so you can move them around for a land invasion. And you've also got your planes there as well. So basically we got to get to this place, this Asia Minor. And to move your ships or units, whatever, you left click and then move where you want them to go. And they can go one step at a time. And then they have to wait for this cooldown before they can move again. Now, for me, this seems a bit slow and plodding, even if you speed it right up. And you've got to do each movement at a time as well. It doesn't seem to be able to select like, oh, I want them to go here, and then they'll slowly move their way there. You can't do that for some reason. Or maybe I just missed the option to do it. And here we actually get to see the combat itself. It's very basic. You got your stats at the top of the screen, how powerful you are, how powerful they are. But I guess they got a few bonuses because we're attacking from the sea. And yeah, so you lose your first fight and you basically just got to keep attacking them with the different resources you got. Like I do attack with the planes here. Same kind of thing. You got your stats at the top and their stats. Obviously the planes are a lot weaker. And you just got to wear them down. You continue doing that until you've actually beaten them. So yeah, and then we see the final push here. And I basically kill these guys and then take the land. Now, when you take the land, I don't believe you can build another city on there. I think you can only build a city on your main area. But you can build upgrades that give bonuses to your empire and so on. So there goes, that is Kaiserpunk. Like I mentioned, I had this on my wish list for some time. And I picked it up as soon as it released on the 21st of the 3rd. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with it, tell you the truth. The city building side of things is okay, but I still think games like Anno does it better. And the part that I was looking forward to was obviously the big world strategic overview part of it. It just seems a bit slow and sluggish, and the combat seems pretty boring and very basic. I'm not sure if it gets any better later on or not. I'll try and play a bit more, but we'll see. It's not an expensive game, so I guess if you do like these kind of things, it might be worth a look. If you do pick it up, let me know what you think, and let me know if I've kind of missed any of the basics out. Finally, I just want to thank everyone for supporting the channel. I've grown a bit already. I'm enjoying making these videos. I just got to try and make them a bit shorter, but it's hard work sometimes. Anyway, if you guys want to see more, please like and subscribe. I'll be trying to release a video at least once a week, maybe twice a week if I get the time. Thanks. See you in the next one.